Why does this matter to me personally? I grew up in a single mom household and I was impacted by not having enough money. I grew up in an era where the generic brand cereal was the white box with the black letters that said cereal, and we had government cheese. I wore my brother's hand me down clothing, and he was 4.5 years older than me, so I was a little girl in boy clothes that were too big for me and they were worn out. I got bullied and picked on as a kid, and things like having my trumpet repossessed in 6th grade because my mom couldn't afford the monthly fee. And now my kids have no idea what that life would be like. They have a present mom that, like, I take them to school and drop them off and pick them up every day. We get to enjoy activities together. I wanted to go to taekwondo when I was a kid. My mom couldn't afford it. Both of my kids have been in taekwondo since they were 2 and 4 years old. They're now third degree and second degree black belts. It's being able to give my children the opportunities that I didn't get because money was a problem. And it's being able to be present with them, even though I am the only one producing an income for our household. It's having it all and sharing that with other moms. Why did I start the Single Mom Income Project? Single moms have always been a big part of my heart, and I've always wanted to make a difference in this community, both as a single mom, being raised by a single mom. I just think it's critical that if we give access to single moms to make a difference for themselves, then it can flip the script on what a single mom, is. How this particular project started, I was driving to go pick up my son from school, and I was listening to a Dan Martell YouTube. And in that YouTube, he was talking about what he was building and everything with his SaaS companies, software as a service companies. And he was talking about some different stuff. And then he goes, your purpose is often closely related to the largest tragic event in your life. And the largest tragic event in my life was losing my mom to suicide when I was 14. From that, I've written a book. I've built communities to support survivors after suicide loss. I've done a lot of stuff in the suicide realm. It didn't quite fit as a purpose. It kind of felt like I was uniquely qualified to make a difference in those communities, but I didn't feel like I was really making the difference. How could I get them from point A to point B? And I was like, my heart's always been with a single mom. And it's not so much in suicide prevention or even the aftermath of getting through losing someone. It's more in how do I help create hope and purpose in somebody? How do we avoid that point of desperation? And I was like, that's it. That's my purpose. I want to make a difference before that point of desperation hits. And then he started talking about the King's Club and how he didn't have time and he didn't have any capacity or ability to really take on this purpose while he was driving his passion of his businesses. And I was like, that's kind of where I am right now. Like, I'm building this national company to support business owners and teach them about AI and build community in and around small businesses. I'm in the middle of this huge national campaign. And I'm like, wait, if he can build the King's Club, then I can build the Single Mom Income Project. What problem was I seeing over and over again? I think this problem exists not only in the realm of like single moms, but also in the realm of just online marketing and marketing in general. There's two major problems I see. And I heard a long time ago that 97% of things that were bought from stage or like books on tape or any of that stuff, that it just sits on a shelf and collects dust. I've always had a resistance to selling training products that would never be used. I don't want to contribute to that dust collection. I want to make a difference for the people who are willing to take action. So I think the problem that I see there is that people are charged before they're tested instead of tested before they're charged. And that's really where my big focus was on this project is how do we make it so that a single mom can test herself to see if she really is ready before she's charged any money to be able to produce results. So that was my biggest number one thing that I really wanted to go after with the single mom project. How do I make it free so that she can build a product, she can put it online, she can test her marketing skills and really see if this is viable for her so that she could make money before she was ever charged anything and see that it worked before she sacrificed gas or food for her children, before she really saw if this was an opportunity. So I think to answer that, the problem I see over and over again is people are selling hope without an executable process. And I wanted to create an executable process to drive the hope. What makes this different from Make Money Fast programs? This is not a Make Money Fast program. This is a how do we get you to an amount of income that'll pay for any costs associated with this so that you are at least break even while you're building your base? And really the difference between this and other programs is it's looking at what matters to you, what communities you want to impact versus, follow my step-by-step affiliate marketing program of how I sold stuff on Amazon. It's really finding your passion and your voice and making a difference to the people that you want to make a difference for. And I think ultimately that's what can uniquely separate us. If we all copy what somebody else is doing, then it's not our passion, and ultimately we'll be miserable producing those results, even if the income comes. So while it is looking at solving the challenge of making money, it's also looking at who are you and what is your unique purpose in the world? How can you make a difference? And how do you find your voice in that purpose so that your audience finds you?